Welcome. In this video we are going to learn about graphical representations or graphical presentations of qualitative data. So let's first understand what is qualitative data. So in order to understand the qualitative data, it is a kinds of the data which cannot be assumed into the numeric value like this. If any type of data that cannot be assumed into the numeric values, then we call it qualitative data. Okay. For examples, there is some example here. For example, that's opinions of the people. Okay, that's the brands of the computers and the genders of the peoples. These all are the types or the examples of qualitative data. So how it is a qualitative data? Because if you take the opinion of the people, they give their own opinion in the descriptive form, and that we cannot be transform or we cannot be assumed it into the numeric form. Similarly, if you talk about the brands of computer, then we have the HP brands, Dell brand, but it cannot be represented into the numeric form. Similarly, talking about the gender of people, so it's a male or female, that is not numeric value. So in this way it is considered as a qualitative data. So in the purpose or for the purpose of representations graphically, we use bar graph and pie chart for their graphical representations. Now let's understand what is bar graph first. So what is bar graph? So bar graph is basically a graph made of bars whose height represents the frequency or the number of respective categories. Okay, so it's basically a graph that's made of bar. So it's a bar is a rod shape like structures, as you can see here in this figure. A survey. So survey in a village where the 100 peoples, okay, and I did the gender analysis. Okay, so I have now data for that the genders I have here male and the female, and for the number out of 100 people there are the 70 male and there are 30. In order to draw the bar, we have to consider some point. The point is the width of the bar. The width of the bar is constant. The gap between the bar are the constant. Okay, and simply it represents the relative frequency, and how it is, let's discuss here. So you can see here in the figure, I draw the x-axis, and this x-axis represents the gender. Then I draw here y-axis, and this y-axis represents frequency or the number, we can say. Okay, and there is a gap between the number. I put the constant number like the 20 gap, and it's 20, 40, 60, 80 and 100. Okay, this is a gap I created. Now I want to draw the bar. So this is called the bar, and this bar is for the male, and what is represent here, it is up to the 70 number, and this represent up to the 70 number. And similarly there is a female bar, and what is the number or the frequency of the female, 30, and then we put the height of this bar up to the 30 and draw the bar. Okay, so this is basically the representations, because it catches the viewer eye, deliver the any ideas. Okay, and that's why, and it gives the relative frequency. How to the relative frequency? How it give relative frequency? Because here out of the 100%, if we consider here out of the 100%, there is the 17% of the male and 13% is the female. So it's basically represent for some instant. Okay, in this way we can draw the bar graph. Now the second one is the pie chart. So what is pie chart? So it's basically a circular portions or figure that is divided into the various portions that represent the relative frequency or the percentage of the different categories. Okay, so before drawing the pie chart, we have to consider some point. The points are, as this is a circle, so it must be the 360 degree, as you can see here in the figure like this. Draw the circle, and then we have to find the relative frequency, and if you multiply this relative frequency with the 360 degree, then it gives the degree contributions of the certain categories, like in the example below. As you can see here in this example, the survey for the computer brands in a certain office, and in that office we find the 4 different types of computers. One is the HP, the quantity or the HP number is 50. There is a Dell computer whose number is 60, and there is Acer computer whose number is 70. If we add the frequency, we get the 260 number of the computer altogether. Now in order to find the relative frequency, we have just to do that the number of these category divided by the total number of the category. Here for the HP there is a 50 computer and the total is the 260 degree, and what we get in the fraction, that is the relative frequency. And if we multiply with the 360, then we found this, and that is a 69 degree, okay, contribution. But instead of multiplying the 360, if we multiplying with the 100, then we get the percentage distributions of it, okay. So in this way we can also find the percentage, and it already discussed in our previous video, okay. So now we have to find this for the all four, and then we have to plot here. So first draw a axis, that must be the permanent, and then take the protractor and draw a 69 degree angle, and this is representations of HP. And then again from this line draw, and that will be representation for the tail. And again from this consider this axis as a permanent, and then with the help of the protractor draw the angle of 97 degree, and that will be the Acer. And again draw the angle for the Asus of 111 degree, and that will be the Asus computer, okay. In this way we can draw the pie chart easily, okay. Now let's example how it's help in actual world. Now you can see here in this picture, there is a monthly sales analysis, and after seeing these pictures we can easily analyze about the monthly sales of the company. Now see here, if this proportions was telling that 13% of the discount sale, then obviously the viewer will be easily understand that 14% of the sale are because due to the discount sale, and the 8% by B2B sale, and 25% offline, and digital 27%, and other with the 10%. So in this way it's help for the easily. So in this way it helps in the delivering of the data in a very easy and attractive way. Thank you.